Okay, today I want to talk about back pain and sleep, right? If you're getting back pain while you're asleep, chances are you're sleeping in a shit position and it's winding you up. I don't know about you, if I don't sleep well, I suck, right? I'm a bad person. We need a lot of sleep, we need to sleep well, we need to not wake too much, and if your back is grumbly and achy, you're gonna have a miserable time. So what I'm gonna run you through today is a couple of tips to try and help you find a better position and get comfy without having to wake up and have a horrible, miserable time while you're sleeping, right? So what you're gonna need, 2 pillows and a towel, right? So, first things first, if you sleep on your back, let's run you through what you need to do, right? So, on your back, you're gonna have 1 pillow that's gonna go under your head, and then so we're gonna lie down like this, right? If you lie like this, what we're doing is we're putting a little bit of extension, a little bit of bow or arch into our back. So how we fix that if we're a back sleeper? All I want you to do, throw a pillow behind your knees, lay down. That's just gonna take a little bit of the pressure off your back. It's gonna put you into a little bit more sort of neutral as opposed to an extended position, right? It's gonna flatten your back out a little. It's gonna take the weight off your spine. We're gonna stop compressing the joints of our spine. Now, as president of the White Boys with a Small Butt Association, if you are a girl, if you have big hips, if you have a big ass, what you're gonna need to do, rolled towel, that is, what are we talking? That's like 1.5 inches, something. It's not super thick. You can go less thick than that. It's gonna depend on the size of your butt, right? From there, if you sleep in this position and your low back is still arched because you've got a big bum and you can't flatten your back out, we're gonna take that towel and we're just gonna pop it underneath our low back, right? So that our bottom can sit flat on the floor and that we're not sort of compressing or loading our back up into some extension, right? That should be a pretty comfy position for those of you who got a big butt. If you don't, that there with just the other pillow, that's gonna take some of the load off your back, right? Your significant other may not love it, but they're just gonna have to get used to not having cuddles and you being a better person through the day, okay? Now, if you're a side sleeper, a lot of people do a couple of really bad things when they side sleep. So, if you're a big person, right? I'm 6'2", I'm relatively broad. My pillow cannot be thin. If you think about sleeping on your side, my pillow needs to take up this much space. I want to sleep with my head in neutral, so my head in the middle. I don't want to sleep like this because that's going to get sore. If you've ever slept without a pillow, you'll know. And I don't want to sleep with too many pillows so that my head goes back the other way. What we want to see, this pillow is going to be a little bit too small, but we want my pillow to take up about the width between my head and my shoulder. And I don't know if you can see, but there's still a bit of shoulder here, right? So it's going to be a little low. Kmart have pillows for like 10, 20 bucks. You can get like the more expensive memory foam ones for a bit more. But first things first, have a look at your pillow height, right? You may need to increase the height of your pillows so that you fill that gap between your head and your shoulder. Now, if we lie down on our side here, what you're going to see is if I'm like this, right? I'm relatively comfy. My hand goes under the pillow. What the hell do I do with this hand, right? What the hell do I do with my leg? If I roll over like this, I'm rotating through my back. If I lay there for 8 hours, that's going to get really uncomfortable. So what I do is I take a pillow and I pop it lengthways along my shin. So I'm like this, right? There's a little bit less rotation. I'm not like this. I'm just propped nicely and neatly. And then with my hand, I'd either use a pillow. I don't have another pillow, so I'm going to use a towel. But I'm going to be on a pillow here as well, right? So that I'm nice and propped. I'm locked in, I'm comfortable, and I'm not twisting, and I'm not rolling all over the place, right? Because that's no good to me, okay? So bigger pillow for underneath our head. We can use a couple of prop pillows for our leg and our arm. You might feel like this is a little excessive. Hey man, I sleep okay, Tom. Get out of my face. I don't need to use props for all this stuff. I don't know about you. Have you ever had 8.5, 9 hours like rock solid sleep? Mate, that stuff is better than sex. It's unbelievable. If you get a really, really good sleep every day, it'll change your life, okay? Now, I hear you. Most of my following is female. I'm hearing it. What about sleeping on my front? What about sleeping on my front? Don't fucking do that, okay? When you sleep on your front, a couple of things happen. One, we're lying in a position of extension. So we're loading up the facet joints. We're loading up the back of our spine. We're compressing it a little bit. Two, what's through the front of your abdomen? Yeah, that's right, your abdominal contents, so organs, stomach, intestines, kidneys, all that stuff are between your spine and the floor when we lay on our front. Gravity is a constant, right? 9.8 meters per second per second. When you lie on your front, gravity is just pulling your spine down towards the floor, right? It's not going to kill you, but it's going to compress all this stuff through the front, and it's going to load up your spine, and you're going to get a little bit achy and uncomfortable, okay? So start on your side, start on your back. If you wake up on your front, that's fine. Go and get the pillow that you've tomahawked and tossed across the room, set yourself back up on your back or your side, and try again, right? As with all things, change takes some time, right? You know, you implement a new thing to your routine, you do it for a bit, you don't, you do it for a bit, you don't, you do it for a bit, you don't, okay? Same with sleep, right? Make a change, you'll hate it, you'll wake up having thrown the pillow away, try again the next night, try again the next night. The more you normalize it, the more you get used to doing it, the better it's gonna get longer term, okay? So, try, right? Start with some props, grab a couple of cheap, shitty pillows from Kmart for like 10 or 20 bucks, and then if you love it, if the aids and the props are working, then you can go and upgrade and get a nicer quality pillow that's going to be a little wider, a little taller. It's going to suit the gap for your head. It's going to fit under your back. Maybe there's like some smaller, really thin little pillows you can get for under your back or your lumbar spine. Like I showed you with the towel, you can buy a pillow version of that. But try it with a towel first to see if you can get comfortable there, okay? Let's stop having a bad night's sleep, right? It's killing you. It's killing your vibe. It's killing your productivity. It's killing your attitude. It's probably killing your love and sex life, right? Let's get that shit under control, okay?